Bismillah and Assalamualaikum. In this video, I will brief explain to you about the random variable. So, random variable, the definition. Now, a random variable is a set of all possible values from a random experiment. Alright? Now, what is random experiment? Now, random experiment is actually a process for which the outcome cannot be predicted or with a certainty. For example, if you toss a coin, all right? For example, if you toss a coin, do you know whether you're going to get a head or a tail? So that is unpredict outcome that you might have. Same goes as you toss a die where you can get the sample such you might get number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that is a random experiment. Okay. Now, there are two random variables that you will learn in the syllabus, which is the first one, the discrete random variable, and the second one is a continuous random variable. So, a discrete random variable will have a discrete probability distribution. So, there are two that you will learn in the syllabus, which is the first one going to be binomial probability distribution, and the second one is going to be Poisson probability distribution. Alright, for continuous is the normal probability distribution. So later we will go detail on it. Alright, now let's go into what is discrete random variable. Okay, now discrete random variable is a random variable that assume a countable values. Alright, now countable values, it can be a finite values, something, for example, which is a whole number. Over here mentioned already, it's a whole number. We'll start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and etc. Okay, that is something which is countable. For example of a discrete random variable, we can see over here the number of students that attend math class. Alright, number of student, it can be like 1 student, 2 student, 3 student and so on and so on. You cannot have a 1.5 student and so on. Okay, now another one is the number of cars sold in a week. For example, you sold like 5 cars, 10 cars and so on and so on. Alright, now if you look at over here, alright, you will see your random variable usually denoted by a capital letters. Capital letters can be from A to Z. So usually we started with the X, Y, W and so on. Okay, now there are a few properties that you have to know in discrete random variable. The first one is that your probability of X, your random variable, should be between 0 to 1. Okay, and the total probability of X should be equivalent to 1. Alright, now continuous random variable. Now what is continuous random variable? Continuous random variable says that a random variable whose values are not countable. Not countable is something that you are gonna have any value that contain in a real line interval. So this one you cannot count, but it can be measurable. Measurable means you can have infinite value within interval. For example, between 0 to 1. Alright, there is an infinite values over here. Alright, so you can have like 0.1, 0.11, 0.112 and so on and so on. Okay, as it mentioned here, it can take any infinite values in a certain range. For example, if you look at over here, random variable X, they say the height of male student in Mahala Biruni. For example, you can have like someone with a height 158.5 cm and so on and so on. So you can, it's not just a discrete whole number, which is, let's say, it must have 158, 159. It can have a point value. Alright, same goes as random variable Y, the time taken to finish online quiz. So that's why you have seconds, minutes, hours and so on and so on. Okay, Alright, I hope that you understand. Now let's have a quick test. Now, classify the following random variable, whether it's a discrete or continuous. Now, pause a bit, ask yourself and try to answer. Okay. Now, for part A, the number of durian in a basket. So, what do you think? Is it a discrete or continuous? So, over here, it is a discrete random variable because number of durians over here. So, you can count the durian with the 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. Now, time taken to finish a race. Now, over here is clearly time taken is a continuous random variable. Price of a cinema ticket. So, price can have a point value. You can have like 0.50 cent, 0.70 cent, 0.80 cent, right? So, this would be continuous random variable. Number of phones owned by student. Is it discrete or continuous? It is a discrete, correct, because you have number of phone number. You can have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 phones, okay? Salary owned by an executive. Now, salary over here, usually you might confuse, but over here, salary is always a discrete random variable. Okay?